Hi friends, welcome to Salesforce Press. As part of today's topic, we'll cover some more interesting features about Summer '23 Salesforce release. As part of our last video, we have covered most of the configuration side summer features. Now we'll cover some more interesting configuration features which are related to flows because as of now, right, Salesforce is adding more features towards flows because as they announced, right, by the end of by the end of 2023 they'll be deprecating flows and process fields, right? So they have added more features to lightning flows, as well as if you talk about workflows, right? Workflows recently, as you know, uh, workflows and process builder, they are planning to migrate, right? So Salesforce they have added recently for the process builders. They have added they have removed a new button in the process builder. Like it means like you won't be able to create a new process after summer 23 release, but you still be able to activate or deactivate and edit an existing function in the release. Means the message is clear, right? It's time to move on from process builder workflows to flows, right? For your decorating or automation and configuration needs, right? And basically in Salesforce they have added a kind of a migrate your flows as well on flows as well. Means like previously we had this button in workflows. Now they have added this button in process builders as well. So let's check what we are talking about, right? So this is my old org. So let me check. If you see process builder, so if you see this is there is a new button here, right? Let's come to summer 23 arc, which is a brand new arc. If you see, there is no new button, as well as because it's a brand new arc, I don't have any process builders or existing process builder in it. So I don't see any process builders in it, right? So if you see, go with the flow with the process builder, the future low code automation, because they're planning to go with a low code automation. That is why they are adding more features into flows, right? And if you see, try flow builder or use migration to flow tool, because I'll let you know what does it mean. You migrate to flow tool means, because I don't have any process builder here, right? I can't be able to show you. So let me show you an example, because we have the same button here as well, workflows. If you see, now if you click on use migrate to flow, uh, yeah, it will give you what are the flows and what are the workflows we have in your org or in your system, and what you need to do. Either whatever it will be, it's a flow or workflow, anyone you can select, and you can click on migrate flow. And this is and you need to select, all these criteria or selected criteria. If you want to select all, you can select all, otherwise you can select only one and click on migrate flow. That's it. Salesforce will take care of everything. It will convert your process builder or workflows into lightning flow. And that's it. What you can do, you can test in your flow builder, otherwise you click on done, and you can go to flows. You can click first auto populate one, right? So if you see, let me check. See, auto populate one. So if you come to this auto populate one, where you can test this scenario before enabling it, and what you need to do, you need to test it in lower box or something, and you need to then you can activate this, and then you can deactivate based on your requirement, whether you can deactivate in the process builders or workflows. So they are removing the new creation of new process builder in summer 23 hours. And they're providing a feature set where you don't need to worry about how to convert or how to read that logic or a kind of thing, how to use this in flows, right? Salesforce automatically converts your flows and process builders into lightning flows. Sorry, workflows and process builders into lightning flows. That's an interesting feature. And when we when we talk about more into flows, right, in summer 23 release, there are a lot of changes is happening, like in the flows UIs as well and something. Let me show you quickly. So if you see, this is my world arm, right? If you see, this is my flow screen. If you see, let me quickly open a new flow. If you see, if you observe this, right, if you observe this, there is a dark UI kind of thing, right? Dark red or dark green. If you see, there is so there are some UI changes uh, into that flow UI, right? It's like more of user experience changes or slight color changes in your to improve accessibility or something like that. So like means like you're able to see more on the flow canvas, like when you click on any actions or something, send email or get element, you will see some changes into your canvas as well. And we already discussed about flow permissions, right? Like basically when we talk about let me show you quickly. Previously the flow permissions are scattered across the profile permissions, right? Now Salesforce added a fee, like changed something like, right, where it will be standard into some particular section where basically let me show you that flow access. You don't need to worry about it, search for that, right? Let me manage flow. Otherwise, let me open any. Otherwise, let me create a new one. If you go to app permissions, you will see content. Yeah, see, if you see, these flows and flow are previously these permissions are scattered all together. Now there is a separate section called flow and flow orchestration, where you can find all the pumps related to flows are placed here. So this is one more interesting feature. And we have a reactive components in flows, right? Basically, when you talk about reactive components, previously when we dealing multiple screens in the same page, right? In order to do that, right? So you need to do some changes in the one screen, and you need to refresh this other screen to automatically detect the changes, right? Yeah. Now basically what you need to do, you don't need to do anything on this, right? When what you need to do, you need to there is a process automation settings, you need to go settings, and you need to so react to screen makes your flow screen components react to changes that are on the same screen, reducing the multiple screens and something, right? If you click on enabling this, right, what you need to do is you don't need to do anything. See, basically whenever you have multiple screens on the same screen or different screens altogether, right? So in order to use this feature, you just need to enable the feature so that whenever you do the same changes on a multiple screen, right? Instead of using multiple screen, right, you can use in the same screen so that that particular items, two different items, will be reacted based on one changes which you have done. It will reflect on the another component, right? So let's suppose you have a parent child component, right? Previously you used to maintain those two components in a two different screen in order to detect the changes which you have made in the first component to reflect or to refresh the in the second component. Now Once we enable this, right, as a Salesforce feature, you don't need to use multiple screens, which will obviously increase the performance, as well as you can use in a single screen, so that you can easily detect whenever you do some changes or some selection has happened on the parent screen. Automatically, the selection details will be reflected in the child screen or child component. That's one of the interesting features. And we have a called choice lookup flows. Choice lookup in the sense, let me show you quickly. There are a lot of features in flows, right? We have, yeah. Let me open quickly. Yeah. So if you see, when I click on new flow, let me open a screen flow. If you see, these are the UI changes what we are talking about. And if you see, if you click on this, in a plus icon will be have an item. If you when hover out of this, right, it will automatically, it's a kind of a dot. And if you see now, there is a screen. When I'm clicking on it, if you see choice, yeah, choice lookup is basically, it is it is more of uh, kind of lookup, but with a selected values. What I can say. So you need to define this and kind of thing, whether it's a required fill or something. And let me quickly show you that. You can select if it is required placeholder text, means like it's placeholder text, in the sense that you will be aware of it when you hover over this. You will have a text, right, which will explain what is that or something like that. When its field is able to use placeholder text, you give a hint about what to enter. That's it. Kind of a help text configuration choice. And now, if you see, okay, new choice, right? Okay, if you see now, let me quickly say this. And if you click on run now, right? If you see, so I have created a existing flow where basically it's a kind of another flow where if you see, there is a component called choice lookup where I have created, and I have written a kind of a case object, case detail with case number field. Right? If you see, it looks like a lookup field, and but you need to configure what needs to be selected, or what things need to be selected, what needs to be filtered on this. It's a kind of a choice lookup function, right? So basically, it is in a beta stage in summer 23. um, like last beta, like in sorry, it's Spring 23. It's a beta phase now. It's generally available, right? You can use choice lookup to allow users to navigate to set of choices here, right? Particularly when working with the large sets, right? It will be useful. Simply search for what they're looking for, right? So instead of scrolling, or instead of doing a massive changes or something. Now we have another feature called, as we might be aware of this, right? Lookup data table. In the data table, if you see, this is the data table. In the data table, you might be aware of this data table where you are showing the data in your computer. You have a checkbox called show search bar. Show search bar means, like, if you see now, we don't have a search bar. If you click on this, right, you have search bar, right? So you don't need to drag it down or completely navigate to your entire page if you have a large data, right? So you can simply search for it, and you can simply use that feature. You can search and you can select, or you can do based on your requirement. So this is one of the interesting features, right? So basically, if you have multiple columns in your data, right, then search will dig through each and every column and try to find out what exactly you're looking for, or what is your required field or required data. And we might be aware of this uh, call out feature, right? Basically, let me show you that. Yeah. Now, if you see, if you see, so if you see, there is a create HTTP call out, right? If you click on it, basically, you don't need, previously what you need to do is the basic purpose of this HTTP call out, which is provided in Flow, or Flow is basically, in order to avoid this coding, you don't need to write a single line of code, right? You just need to use this particular feature, and you need to use this your name or credential which you are defining, so that you will you should be able to use your call out feature, or external call out feature, right? So you can call any web-based API in Flow using this particular callout method, or beta. But previously, before Summer 23, this get HTTP callouts are beta phase. Now they are generally available. Means, like, it's no more in a beta phase. You can use this feature in your summer, after this Summer 23 release. Now they have added some more feature, like some more feature, like one more feature called, because we don't have any post calls now. Now they Salesforce introduced post HTTP callouts in the beta format. Means they're in the process of adding more, like, HTTP callouts, get calls or post calls and put calls and all these calls, right, where you can achieve through coding or something, right? You can use these features, so that they are in a roadmap of adding one by one features in your flows. So you can like, basically, in Summer 23, these post HTTP callouts are kind of beta phase, so that you can expect more features or more changes in your flows callouts actions, right? So you can use, maybe in the next release, they can make this post callout generally available. And you have a, if you see, you have a send email. Okay, let me, you see, there is a send email, right? If you see, related record ID. If you click on related record ID, let's suppose, right, if you enable this related, you can recipient, or you can template ID, body, and everything, sender email address, sender type, subject, everything. You can relate any record, like, basically, uh, it is basically where you simply, it is something like, you simply use this message in the simple email messages in code, right? simply you can use the same thing in flows without writing a single line of code, right? So you can relate it to any record in your flows as well. And one more thing is basically if you see, let me show you that whenever flow trigger explorer, right? Hmm. So if you see in the flow trigger explorer previously, uh, there is nothing called like you'll be able to see what are the flows which you defined in your account, right? Let's suppose an account, you based on yourself an account, what is the actions, if it is created or what is it updated, deleted, something. Now Salesforce standard flows also will show up in the flow trigger explorer. Although you are not able to order or something reorder it, but it will give you some guidance, right? Like what are the flows it is running on a particular object, or what are the custom flows we have, and what are the standard flows we have in the particular object kind of thing, right? So those are the main features when we talk about flows. And when you talk about some of the customizations or something, right? So we have a last time we have discussed about a dynamic forms, right? In Build or something. So in the dynamic forms, now those are supporting in multi-pick list values as well. Even though it says some limitation, dynamic forms for flows become generally available in winter 23. Like in summer 23, uh, basically in summer 23, this dynamic flows support multi-pick list values as well. Let me show you that. If you see, you will be able to see user multi-pick list values where you can see select the user multiple values or something multi-pick. What is the choice we need to define? One component visibility you can define here itself, whether it's a required field or not. They have added these multi-pick list values add-in. And um, so we talk about this flows or something like that, right? Where and we have talked about the choice lookup functionalities as well. And basically when we talk about customization, right? So we have a we might be aware of this pick list values, right? The active pick list values and the active pick list values. So basically we have we have fourth we have a limit of 4,000 pick list values, uh, inactive pick list values existing, right? We previously we have a choice where you can restrict this upper limit or you can skip this upper limit, but to Salesforce recently added a feature something like limit this number of inactive pick list values, like to improve the performance or to improve this health of your page or org or something like that. So like this particularly you need to go to this pick list page in setup, right? Pick list settings page. Let me open it. Allow editing API names. Okay. Get a custom name. So see if you see establish upper bound on existing pick list ones. Like you have a limit of 4,000 something, right? You can click on apply here, and you can simply if you see get a list of custom pick list with inactive values, because it will tell you which custom pick lists are more than 4,000 inactive values. So it will give you a detail. It will send you a result or an emails which is having more than 4,000 inactive values in your custom pick list values. So it will help you to decide what are the features, or like what are the pick list values which are existing more than 4,000, so that you will be able to decide based on your business requirement or business needs. And uh, basically we have a you might be aware of this salutation, right? So we have this misters and mrs kind of thing, right? So previously you won't be able to edit or do changes in your salutation, right? But Salesforce recently introduced things, right? Okay, let me show you. This is my folder. If you see any let me go to lead. Means like what I mean by you are not able to do any changes or something like that is like there is a standard values where you need to use that particular values. You don't need to do anything. Uh, you don't need to do add. You are not able to add anything or something like that, right? You need to use these kind of things, right? You cannot do anything or something. So if you see the name itself, it will come, right? If you see there is nothing called salutation or something like that. There is nothing called salutation, and even though if I'm using name, you don't have anything or something. But now let me come to now I'm on lead page already. Okay, open. If you see there is a salutation. So if you click on this, right? If you click on edit, where you can see uh, you can see all these, and you can click on new, you can re-add, or you can refresh something like when you create a custom picklist value, right? What are the options you will be able to see, right? You can create, or you can delete, or you can deactivate, kind of thing, right? Those particular feature they have given you, so that you can manage, you can always manage your sanitation picklist as well, right? And basically uh, and if you see there is a gender friendly picklist values, right? Like it will kind of respecting other uh, genders as well, right? You always know, don't have any misters and misses kind of thing. You will have a mix, and you can create on your own, which is a gender friendly, or dynamically creating a new values as well. And one more feature which Salesforce introduced recently is basically uh, you have a data loader file, right? Like basically we previously to install data loader on Mac. Like previously, the data loader is required to separate zip files to deploy on a different operating system, like Mac OS or Windows. Right now, you don't need to do anything. You will have a single zip file, and to install data loader on a Mac or Windows, right? Follow those instructions in the updated documents. You don't need to do separate files or something like that. And as I talked about, right, like gender neutral salutation. So they have added MX as a salutation pick list value now available by default, so that you can customize those pick list, which is a kind of a gender neutral salutations. Uh, so that's it for today, and thank you very much for your thank you very much, friends, for your help on this.